started, came from the bottom, and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I told no risk. Why bet you wanna be famous, huh? They act like they made us, huh? You know I'm icy in Vegas. This for the that hate us, huh? I make a lot of new money, huh? When the not save us, huh? You be liking my flavor, huh? I think it's cause
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with the Washington Redskins. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The hard, ready?
53, Mike. Watch the out, watch the out.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. Ryan Kerrigan in on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
53, Mike.
Good route here.
I'm coming after you.
Wide.
Watch this.
Here we go, huh?
Here's Cousins. Josh Doxson's got it complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
I got you.
Cousins on first down. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A first down screen pass, good for 5.
Brings up 2nd and 5.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
53. Let's go.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
10 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and inches at the 34-yard line.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on 2nd down. Cousins steps away to his left. Out to the left, it's complete to Dodson. A gain of 13, it's a first down. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jonathan Bostic charging hard from that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Throwing is Cousins. Dancing to his left. And he's going to go down again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. They'll get 19 out of this, but it will still bring up a 4th down. Bailey's kick is good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Haskins and the Redskins come up 1st and 10 at their own 27. They'll go with Darius Geis, who missed all of 2018 with injury. On the tackle that time, it's Trey Waynes.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. The 40, 30, 10, touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins have taken the lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
yeah,
right?
A little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They'll throw down the field, caught by his running back. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
It's brought in by Jackson. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Cousins going to come up on a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
You got to get moving, man. Man moving. You got to get that.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, right there.
From just shy of midfield, Cousins binds, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Montez Sweat has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon.
Check 25.
3rd and long for Cousins. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. There for the sack, Everson Griffin.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. On 2nd down, Love. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Anthony Harris on the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag. No,
I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. It's taken to the 26. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again? And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack on 1st down, Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And that is incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. From the gun, Haskins on third down. Jordan Reed has it. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On first down, this is Geis. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
He's going to air one out. And this is caught inside the 5. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Terry McLaurin, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. And his kick is good, but flags come in. Looks like we're going to get a roughing call here on the follow-through. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
A second down throw for Cousins. Jackson with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 35. First down, here's Cousins.
I think it's pretty safe to say that initially they had to be thinking about trying to get into field goal range. But after that shot right there, they've got to be thinking bigger right now.
And that was probably their thought offensively. If we hit this, great, let's go for the end zone. If not, settle for a field goal. Looks like they can try to hit pay dirt. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Cousins completes it right side to Doxson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Mike 55, Mike 55.
Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Hey, Ken! Two.
53's
Hey, Alpha.
53's mine. Come on, baby.
Gun.
53's the mic. 53's the mic. Man, I got you. 53's the mic. 53. Check 53.
First.
To the air again, it's Cousins. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Intended for Josh Watson. Incomplete. Landon Collins on the cover.
And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Bailey able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Redskins take over first and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Pretty quiet. Kill. He's checking. Crash.
And this time they'll just keep this on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They run again with Peterson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set, ready. Tighten up. Pull it together. Check it backer. Check. Check. 54 is mine. Check. Watch 54. I don't think you got it.
They'll run it. Here's Peterson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the third down conversion. Throwing now, Haskins on first down. Going for the deep ball. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Paul Richardson. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half score to get. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Ryan Kerrigan in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
Hey, no, easy. Hey, box drop. Rhino. Where's the hot?
Throwing, Cousins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass.
Yellow.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. A deep ball for Dotson. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, Reuben Foster picks it. Then he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They hand off to their big tight end. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Watch the screen. Watch the safety screen. Shoot.
From the 36, Haskins. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Off the play fake, here's Haskins. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Hey, watch it. 66, bullet, half.
On first down, it's Haskins. Forced out to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Everson Griffin, his 2nd sack of the night. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Slam. No.
They go play action with Haskins. And that is caught. Touchdown, Washington. Jeremy Sprinkle, his first touchdown on the year. And the Redskins are able to stretch the lead out further.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
Good route here. Hey, seam 6. Seam 6. Where's the hot?
To throw again on second down. Cousins. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down.
Don't be scared of it. Check 3, check 3, check 3.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Gun.
56.
Running for it. Here's Cook going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or two. Dalvin Cook turned away on fourth down. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. Your 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run the counter. It's Love. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Kill. Watch the eye. Alert 3, alert 3. Alert 3.
From the gun on third down, Haskins. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. To throw, Cousins. Escaping the pressure right. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Number 53, Mike.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins. Wide open receiver, complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run. Now, defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your seat.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
A deep ball for Dotson. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Vikings. Josh Dotson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. Cousins now, and he is going to go down back at the 11-yard line. So tried to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, you try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Haskins. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Daniil Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Haskins slings this deep from McLaurin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Trey Wayne's the Michigan State man right there in coverage. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Oh, some strong running. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
51, Mike. 51. Go, Mike 51, Mike 51.
Gun.
Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go.
Zebra.
Big stop.
Hey, Echo.
Let's go. Mike.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Hey, we're good, we're good. Mike 51, Bravo. Let's go, defense.
Throwing is Cousins. Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning.
Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51.
Here we go. Bring it.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And Diggs has it. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Put your hands on him.
Leave it, 48.
Cousins now from the 50. He's going to let it fly. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. His third touchdown now on the year as they are able to cut into that lead. So now here are the Vikings faced with a big 2-point conversion attempt.
Hey, can't. Gun. Motion. Here we go.
Cousins. That is incomplete. A very pivotal 2-point try that does not go their way. Now it's a big uphill battle for the rest of the fourth quarter.
The attempt was to try and make it a one-score game, right? Touchdown, get 2, and now you've tied it up. Instead, they don't get it, still down 10.
This is fielded at the goal line. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Undercut.
On the ground, it's Geis. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Uncorks one for Davis. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Now Cousins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Monte Nicholson picks it, and his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
A good starting spot for the Redskins as they come up 1st and 10. Now after the turnover, here's Haskins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers. as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Geis with a carry on second down. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. Bit of a surprise. They ran it on third and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10.
First down, Washington.
Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10.
3 buzz. Rush in.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
They're running it. Kill.
Geis. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. So hail to the Redskins as they get the victory here. And I think they might have something in this young rookie quarterback because he certainly looked the part.
I have to ask you a question. Are you thinking similar to what I'm thinking?